Hey y'all, welcome back to the party. It is me, your girl Britt Reacts, and today, well, we're gonna react to something that was dumped into my email by a OG subscriber and member over on Patreon. You know who you are. Thank you for this one. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. This is our girl, my sister, my cousin in my head, Amala Ekpunobi, and this video is entitled "The Reason Men Aren't Approaching Women Is Women." Big surprise. Let's see what she has to say.
A young woman has gone viral with her very loud plea to men to please pay attention to her. She's going out with her girls, presumably. She's done a lot of work to glam herself up, and she's even giving y'all permission to touch a boob. So what is going on, and why aren't men approaching women?
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better.
I love her intro.
Yeah, you better.
It's so good.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please
new
like
backdrop.
and subscribe. Yes, today we're going to talk about the consistent phenomenon of men not approaching women when they're out, when they're at the coffee place, when they're at the workplace. It's, I guess, just a plague upon society that is impacting young women right now who want to be approached and who want a little bit of attention to be paid to them. But is that the case for all women? I guess not, and that seems to be the problem. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this phenomenon, in the age group of 18 to 25, for young men, around 50% of them say they have never approached a woman, not once, not
so
ever, in a romantic
crazy
or sexual capacity. They just cannot find it in themselves to walk up to a girl and hit her up and ask for her number. Now, when asked why they can't find this drive to do so, most of them are expressing that they don't want to be seen as a creep or be accused of sexual harassment in the wake of this whole Me Too movement thing that's happened. Many of them are saying they don't want to deal with any sort of negative social judgment that is going to come on the other end of hitting on a woman and maybe being unsuccessful. And of course, a lot of them don't want to deal with the unsuccessful aspects of hitting on a woman, being
Wow. Okay. We talk about this a lot on this channel, specifically when I react to Shoe on Head. She does such a good job of breaking down in a long format type of way the epidemic that is happening. She calls it male loneliness. It's really interesting because I am a millennial, a true millennial. I am closer to 40 than I am 30. And however, I have a lot of young 20-somethings in my life via my 3 younger brothers. My husband is in college, women's college basketball. And so a lot of his colleagues are younger. And I have a grip a little bit more, I think, than maybe some other millennials who just aren't in touch with, in close proximity to this demographic. And it is really, really interesting because on one side, there's gonna always be like the confident, arrogant guy that has no problem approaching women, has no problem finding himself in situations where he can approach women and he's not deemed a creep, or so on and so on and so forth. But I can totally get and understand, especially post Me Too, where the younger generation just is like, I'd rather not even go through the trouble no matter what the outcome is, right? Like it's not worth it to them. And me personally blame social media. I think social media is 100% to blame for all of this. We all just have way too many opinions, way too much access. We've all consumed way too much bad news. And so it leaves the lure, the fun, the mystery of dating and pursuing someone and courting someone. It's left it more of a burden and a trouble than it is anything positive. And on the other hand, I think on the women front, I cannot speak to this. I am a married woman. I'm not a single woman. I've never gone on a dating app. And even when I was single, I did not find it difficult to have men approach me. I also am a very, I don't know, I wasn't afraid to approach a man if I was attracted to him. You can ask my husband because I was that girl, okay, for him. And now he's my husband. So, but I think young women have also been affected by this in a very, it's just all unfortunate to me because like we exist to coexist. Like, genuinely, we exist to coexist. And now you see more women dating other women and more men just being like whatever. And it's all so sad to me because I feel like it's such a huge part of the human experience to have connection in that way. So yeah, I don't know. This is interesting. And Amala is like more in that generation than I am. So I'm really interested to hear. And I believe more than June, aka Shoe on Head, she is also a millennial. So let's keep watching.
Rejected. So now we're in this weird space of having a lot of young women who presumably do not want to be approached when they're out in public, when they're at work, when they're hanging with friends, when they're at the gym, and having a group of young women who do want to be approached. And overwhelmingly, men are saying, we are not going to approach you. And I guess that's how we get videos like this.
I better pay attention to me tonight. I'm so sick of this shit.
Oh my god.
Touch a boob, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very.
That's how it used to be back in the day.
Oh, by the way, I guess I should address this change in setup. I am out and about traveling, and while I am not a single young woman who is out traveling, I do see a lot of young women who are, and these girls are getting glammed up to the nines to hit the streets in hopes of being hit on, and apparently it's just not happening for them. And I'm seeing a lot of young women who are responding in the very same way that this young girl is, and this is getting hella responses. I mean, tens of thousands of people, I think, are responding to this video at this point and expressing their opinion as to why this is not happening for these young women. And many of them are blaming women themselves. Now, I'm going to read you some of the most viral responses to this video so that you can understand what I'm seeing. Lulu says, nobody wants to say this, but the well-intended Me Too exposés metastasized into hysterical witch hunts, creating an environment of fear that altered human mating habits for a generation. TLDR, we've been scaring the bros.
Thanks for the layman's terms, girls, because what were all Me Too exposés, metastasized, and hysterical? Like, girl, break it down. Okay, yes, the Me Too movement, I think, and ever since, I mean, every week it's like a new guy, a celebrity is being charged or accused or something or the other. And I mean, I can't imagine it makes a man want to like go out and put himself out there in fear of something like this. I mean, again, that's more on the celebrity front, I guess. In the everyday male's life, though, I guess it's just probably a mixture of a fear of rejection, a fear of a woman saying, you know, a man came at them the wrong way or something like that. But listen, here's the thing. I think now more than ever proves the age-old, I don't know, like, just the truth of the matter is, like, women want to attract men, men want to be with women. Like, it's like, that is what's natural. And I think this woman also doesn't look to be, like, super, super young. Meaning, like, she said 18 to 25. I'm not saying how old I think she looks. I'm just saying she doesn't look 18. She looks like she has experience. She's like, what's going on? Like, she's a part of someone, like, she's a part of the change. Like, she's seen it before and after is what I feel like. Yeah, if you're a millennial and you're still dating, I feel like you're really getting hit hard because you experienced the dating world before the Me Too movement and probably even before social media became the toxic vortex that it is now. This is really interesting to me. Okay, let's keep going with the tweets.
And I can't say that that's not true. In a lot of the surveys that I looked up, sort of trying to figure out why men are not approaching women, most of them said they did not want to be perceived as creepy, they did not want to deal with any sort of sexual harassment allegations, and they didn't want to be freaked out on by a woman who did not want to be approached. And so many people are echoing this exact sentiment. Chadley says, women will literally start a global witch hunt against flirting, successfully destroy it, forget, and then start a new movement complaining that nobody is hitting on them. Bizlet says, would you apply for a job with an insane list of requirements? And furthermore, the company gets insulted for giving them your resume and makes a scene about it. And lastly, you get this little cartoon of a cat that's sitting on a window. And the cat says, I'm so lonely. Why must I live this life alone in solitude? Somebody comes to pet the cat. The cat says, don't touch me. Will this loneliness ever end?
It's interesting because there's been such this, like, push back on the trad wife and all these women who want to be traditionally submissive to their husbands and want to be stay at home. It's like, we're independent women. Da, 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 da. Now look. Now look. Now look. That's all I'm going to say. Now look. Now look. Miss, I can do bad all by myself. Now you're doing bad all by yourself and your butt hurt about it. Now look. Now look, girls. I love her new hair color. It's cute.
We're scaring the hoes. We're scaring the bros, I guess, as people are saying here. This has overwhelmingly been the response to the video that I showed you, that women have actually created this problem by going after men for hitting on them or trying to pursue them romantically. And of course, many are leaning on the example of the Me Too movement, which of course was well intended. They wanted to go after predators, harassers, people who were actually not well intended in their pursuit of women. But now we've crossed a line, I guess, where men who are hitting on women with good intentions, who just want to go on a date, maybe get a girlfriend, maybe even just get a one-night stand, which is, you know, not the worst thing in the world, have been accused of being creepy. So men are backing off and saying, you know what, if you don't want me to hit on you, if you don't want me to pursue you, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to stick with my guys when I'm going out, or I'm just going to not go out at all, and I'm not going to approach you. And we've actually documented this phenomenon on this channel on multiple occasions. I showed you a video of a girl who got a compliment, albeit a sexual compliment, at a gym, and she went and accused the guy of sexual harassment, created an entire scene, and all he did was say one thing and leave her alone. We had another video recently of a young girl who got approached mildly, I mean mildly, at a Whole Foods, and she came to her car and made a whole video about the guy being a freak and saying that men are going crazy in their pursuit of women. So this is not really being created out of thin air, this idea that men are going to be accused of being creepy for pursuing women.
Right.
But is that all that's going on? I don't know. When I think about the women that I know, most of them are single. Most of them want to be approached. So I'm trying to think of what other groups of women exist. Of course, there are those who don't want to be approached. And I think something we're not talking about necessarily is women who say they don't want to be approached, but they actually do. And women who say they want to be approached, but they only want to be approached by a specific...
I say this all the time. Like, I think... so many men are conditioned to a woman who like plays hard to get, right? Like she doesn't say what she means or mean what she says. It's like, don't talk to me. Why didn't you call me last night? You know what I mean? It's like that kind of game. And I think guys are just, y'all, we've worn y'all out. We've worn you out with the games. And I am somebody who is big on like, listen, if I'm telling you that, please don't think I'm kidding. Please don't think I'm playing hard to get. I truly mean it. And I think, again, all of this is coming back and biting women in the butt in a way that now they are suffering for it when they thought it was cute or fun or like it's the chase, or you know what I mean? It's just like, no, but you just said, and now that it's happening, now you're upset, you know? And again, I agree with Amala. Like sometimes I'm sure there are guys who are catcalling and it's inappropriate and it's really like condescending or demeaning, but I think that happens way less often than a guy just trying to talk to a girl, and because she doesn't want to be spoken to, she's offended rather than just saying, you know, like, no thank you. And again, there are also times where men have been documented going overboard when being rejected politely, kindly, and reasonably and rightfully. So, you know, everything is circumstantial, but I think overwhelmingly so now in the times that we're in, you just see women not finding the good in anything, or not having any sense of like, they're waiting for perfection. They're waiting for the right guy with all the right physical qualifications to say the exactly perfectly right thing they've been thinking of since they were 12 years old. And if that doesn't happen in that way, the way they've been thinking about it their whole life, then they are offended and you are harassing them. Ladies, gentlemen, delusion has entered the chat. Delusion.
type of guy. And I started to look into this because, of course, a lot of the manosphere guys are talking about this 666 phenomenon, the idea of six figures, six pack, and 6 foot tall. And I wanted to see if there were any numbers on just how many women are looking for this criteria. As far as height, I did find some numbers. It says only 15% of women show interest in 5'8" men on dating apps, and 60% of them are going for a man who is 6 foot tall or taller. And I'm not sure how that's going to work out. So
Right.
there is an energy
Math is
of
not
going on
mathing.
dating apps, wanting to make romantic connections, wanting to be approached by men, but
Here's the issue with dating apps, is that it's all strictly physical from the jump. There is no like getting to know someone outside of the physicality. It is immediately a physical exam. Like it is immediately like you're swiping on someone who doesn't look and have the physical qualifications that in your mind you think exist. And you may have swiped on someone who is the kindest, sweetest, most thoughtful, most caring, perfect match for you. But because he didn't meet those physical qualifications, you have already shut that out. This is why I say like these social media apps, these dating apps are going to be the end of mankind, honestly. Like there will be no more courtship. There will be no more dating. It's like, nope, he wasn't 6'1". Nope. And I think it takes a very special kind of person on those dating apps that can look beyond that, and someone who is their true intention is to like really find a person on the inside that is resonating with them and not necessarily looking for the physical. I get it. You know what I mean? It's the first thing you see, but are you willing to go beyond that? And I don't think that the dating apps are set up for that type of journey. I think they are set up to, tick all the physical boxes. I don't know. Just my thought. Again, I've never been a part. Like I've never had a profile on a dating app, and I've never like met someone through a dating app. But again, I am in communication with a lot of Gen Zers, a lot of girls and guys in their young 20s, mid 20s, late 20s that are on these dating apps, and I hear their stories, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
you'll be disappointed if you're approached by the wrong man. I saw a bunch of men online saying that they've noticed that women who say they want to be approached often wants to have that approach in order to reject the man.
Yeah.
They see some sort of power or strength in being able to reject guys, and they'll do so very rudely. This TikTok is going to exemplify exactly that.
Can I get your number?
Oh. You think you are getting with him? Get the f*** out of here. You think you're getting his number? What restaurant are you taking him to? Wait, how much money do you make? Surely you make like seven
This
figures,
is so
right?
sad.
You're too short. You gotta grow up a little bit, and then you can maybe get with him. Yeah, he's good. You can walk away. Hey, you can walk away. Walk away. He doesn't want you. Hello, are you listening? Are you listening? He doesn't want your
That's
snap.
messed
You're
up.
nobody. You're nothing. You're a bum. You're a bum. He doesn't want you.
You're a bum.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I would take your Insta though. If you got Insta, I would take your Insta.
And I gotta say,
That's
I have seen this
heartbreaking.
firsthand, and it's awful. There are beautiful young women who go out and they say they're looking to be approached or they want a little bit of attention, but what they're really waiting for is to claw out the eyes of the first man who has the audacity to hit on them. So that's a
And their friends. I think, ladies, you've got to get a grip and like a clear view of who your friends are and if they are blocking your blessings because they are miserable. I think that is a huge also part of this, is that you have girls that are going out and some of them are a part of the he woman or she woman hater club or whatever. It's like they just have it out for all men, and maybe it's jealousy, maybe it's envy. I don't know what it is, but they will block their friend because they're miserable or because the guy didn't come up and try to approach them. And it's like, girl, that's not your friend. That's not your friend. That's not your friend. That's
a little
not
bit
your
of a
friend.
problem too. And I don't want to make this entire video seem like it's blaming women for this vacuum that now exists when it comes to being hit on and approached when they go out, but there's a lot of evidence. There's a lot of evidence stacked against some women, we shall say. And when I try to think of what men's share of this problem is, maybe it is just a general masculinity problem and the suffocation of masculinity, but who's responsible for that. It's a multifaceted issue. There's also the issue of hookup culture. People are going in, they're hooking up, they're having one night stands. And if you're somebody who is not interested in that sort of environment, not interested in that sort of outcome, I think you're more likely to just outright reject the people who are approaching you, because we just assume that if you are a young person who's approaching somebody at a bar or when they're out, that's probably what you want out of the interaction. So that's probably cutting off a lot of what could be healthier developments when it comes to approaching a woman when they're out and about. This issue is so multifaceted, and I guess men and women both share their slices of the blame when it comes to this being a problem. But what I'm seeing on the internet, which of course is not representative of what's happening out in the real world, is men just over and over and over saying that women are responsible for this outcome, and that's the reason that they are not approaching women. So women, are we responsible for this? Ladies, is it our fault? And if it's not, we need to defend ourselves in the comments right now, because men are coming after us and saying the Me Too movement, the rejection, the accusations of being a creep, a freak, the negative social judgment, this is what's creating this scenario that's consistently playing out with young women, where they're getting all dolled up, they want some attention, they maybe want to find a man at the end of the night, and they're not able to do so. They're not getting dates, they're not getting hookups, they're not getting numbers even. So
people still give out numbers
in the comments down below, ladies. Is it our fault? If it's not, whose is it? Men, do you agree or disagree with some of the statements in this video? Drop it down below. I'm so open to other interpretations of what's happening, because it was like an echo chamber. The amount of people who are saying this is women's fault and we just don't want to be accused of being creepy, and you guys created the problem with this whole witch hunt thing. So I'm open to other interpretations. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I encourage healthy debate on this channel, so do get out, but do so respectfully. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video for you guys, which is every day. And I will see you guys tomorrow.
That's a committed lady right there. She films on vacation, so much so that she will film on a staircase for us, okay? She's amazing. All right. Like she said, leave your comments down below. I don't know if women are exclusively responsible, but I do think sometimes it's a good thing to take a step back and see if you're in your own way. That's all I will say. I too agree. I'm really interested to read your comments, but if you cannot keep it kind, I ask that you keep it cute and put it on mute. And I want you to go and have the day you deserve. Bye.